The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers for Thursday, November 6th, reveal that Sharon Newman's Sharon case safety will be at risk while Noah Newman Lucas Adams spills on his life outside of Genoa City. At the Shadow Room, Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, will have a chance to react to the fist Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, delivered to his face. Mitch will keep pretending he's innocent and insist there must be some misunderstanding about this Matt guy. Of course, Nick will know Matt is lying and will push for answers about Noah's crash. Mitch will stand his ground about his true identity and deny that he had anything to do with Noah's injuries. That said, Matt will surely work some threatening comments into the conversation. Mitch might drop a hint about Sharon and suggest that Nick shouldn't go around decking people who might take their anger out on her. Whatever the case, Nick will have more concerns by the time he returns to Sharon with updates on his confrontation with Matt. We'll see Nick grow fearful about the danger that Sharon could be in, so he'll definitely want Newman's security to step up and protect her. Naturally, Nick will plan on protecting Sharon as well, but they both know exactly what Matt is capable of. Since Matt is such a menacing enemy, Sharon and Nick will know they have to stay on guard. As for Noah, he may continue to draw a blank on his car crash and the events leading up to it. However, Noah will remember things about his overall time away from GC and what he's been up to off-screen. Although Noah will spill some news about that, he may not reveal the whole story. Noah may clam up when it comes to certain Mitch and Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, details, so Sharon and Nick will have to keep unraveling the mystery. Back in Genoa City, YNR spoilers say Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, will step up to support Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, as a team. Despite Kyle's mission to expose Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, as someone who can't be trusted, Diane and Jack may continue to worry he's going to push Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, even further away. Kyle won't realize that Holden has already confessed his shady history with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, to Claire, so that'll no doubt come as a shock in the coming episodes. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kyle will have other curveballs headed his way as well, so stay tuned. The air in Genoa City is thick with a chilling tension that promises to explode, and Thursday's episode is the calm before a storm that will irrevocably shatter lives. As alliances are tested and buried secrets claw their way to the surface, one woman's quest for truth places her in the crosshairs of a predator, while a prodigal son's homecoming reveals a future no one could have predicted. A desperate search and a deadly threat. Sharon Collins's world has narrowed to a single, terrifying objective: finding the mysterious AC, the person she is convinced holds the key to the harrowing Jordan mystery. Her investigation, conducted from the back office of Crimson Lights, has been a frantic, sleepless endeavor. Armed with little more than a burner phone, a wall covered in scrawled notes and red string, and a gut feeling that screams of imminent danger, she's been piecing together a puzzle that everyone, from Nick to Victor, has warned her to leave alone. Thursday, her digital digging finally pays a terrifying dividend. Using a complex series of data searches that would make Kevin proud, Sharon manages to trace a series of encrypted financial transactions back to a shell corporation, which in turn leads her to a name: Arthur Carl Smith. The moment the name appears on her screen, a cold dread washes over her. This is no longer a ghost. He is a man. And the digital footprint she's just uncovered is recent and alarmingly close to Genoa City. Blinded by her breakthrough and a desperate need for answers about the woman who terrorized her family, Sharon makes a catastrophic error in judgment. Instead of calling Nick or Chance, she decides to make contact herself. Using a secure messaging app, she sends a carefully worded probe to an email address associated with Carl Smith, posing as a potential client interested in discreet security consulting. The response is immediate and bone-chilling. It reads simply, "I know who you are, Mrs. Collins. And I know you have something that belongs to my employer. Stop looking, or I will come and collect it, and you, personally." Panic seizes her.
He knows her name. He knows she contacted him.
The hunter has become the hunted. As she frantically tries to delete the message and shut down her system, a new notification pops up on her screen, a live location tracker, showing a blinking red. That is her own phone, with the words "See you soon" superimposed over it. He is not just in the city, he has real-time access to her movements. Her safety isn't just at risk, it's been completely compromised. Every move she makes from this moment forward is being watched by a shadowy operative with a direct link to the ruthless Jordan, and his warning is not a bluff. Sharon's pursuit of the truth has just put a target directly on her back, and the consequences of this single decision will reverberate through Genoa City for weeks to come. Noah's homecoming confession. Across town, a very different kind of tension fills the Newman ranch. The family is gathered for a welcome home dinner for Noah, a gesture orchestrated by Victor to project an image of a united, powerful family. The room is filled with forced cheer and clinking glasses, but all eyes are on the returned wanderer. Victoria is assessing him for a potential corporate role. Nick is watching for signs of the old pain, and Victor is simply measuring his grandson's mettle. As the conversation turns to his future, the pressure mounts. Victoria, in her typical CEO fashion, lays out a proposal for him to head a new digital media division at Newman Enterprises. "It's a ground floor opportunity, Noah. You could make a real impact," she says, her tone leaving little room for refusal. But Noah, who has spent years away building a life on his own terms, remains calm. He looks around the table at the expectant faces of his family, the power, the wealth, the relentless ambition, and he realizes he no longer fits into this gilded puzzle. "Vic, that sounds incredible. Truly," he begins, his voice measured but firm. "But I have to be honest with all of you. I didn't just come back for a visit." A hush falls over the room. Nikki places her wine glass down carefully. Victor's steely gaze intensifies. "I came back to wrap things up," Noah continues, his eyes finding Nick's. "To see everyone, to make sure Mom was really doing okay, and to tell you that my life is elsewhere now." He then spills the details of his life outside Genoa City, painting a picture that is utterly foreign to the Newman way of life. He talks about the small, community-focused art gallery he runs in a quiet coastal town. He describes a life not measured in corporate takeovers or stock prices, but in the success of local artists, in early morning walks on the beach, and in a profound sense of peace he never found in the shadow of the Newman Tower. The chaos, the constant battling, the betrayals. "I lived it for so long, and it almost broke me," he confesses, a raw honesty in his voice that stuns his family. "Out there, I'm not a Newman heir. I'm just Noah. And I've built something that is truly, wholly mine. It's small, and it's quiet, and it makes me happy in a way that..." His declaration is a quiet bomb dropped in the middle of the opulent ranch. Victoria looks baffled, Nick is contemplative, and Victor is unreadable. Noah has not only rejected the Newman Empire, but has implicitly rejected the very values it stands for. His spill about life outside GC is more than a career update. It's a philosophical challenge to his entire family, forcing them to question the price of their own power and the emptiness it sometimes masks. Crossed wires and corporate fires. At Society, the fallout from Billy Abbott's impulsive decision to leak Victor's memoir continues to scorch everything in its path. The atmosphere between him and Chelsea is frosty, a stark contrast to their recent rekindled passion. She confronts him, her eyes flashing with a mixture of anger and fear. "What were you thinking, Billy? You didn't just poke the bear, you set his cave on fire and are now waving a stake in his face." Billy, however, is riding a wave of self-righteous vindication. "I was thinking that the people of Genoa City deserve to know what a monster they've been idolizing for decades. This wasn't about us, Chelsea. This was about the truth." But their heated argument is interrupted by a frantic call from Kyle Abbott at Jabot. The fallout is more immediate and devastating than they imagined. Several of Jabot's key international distributors, terrified of being associated with the company now publicly warring with Victor Newman, have pulled out of major deals. The stock price is beginning to tumble, and Jack is apoplectic. Billy's personal vendetta has just ignited a corporate firestorm that threatens to consume the company his family built. He wanted to wound Victor, but his blow has landed squarely on Jabot's bottom line, and the collateral damage is just beginning. This isn't a game anymore. It's a crisis with real-world consequences that could cost hundreds of people their jobs and cripple the Abbott legacy. A mother's fear and a father's resolve. Meanwhile, at the Chancellor estate, the domestic bliss for Chance and Summer is shattered by a different kind of fear. Summer, ever the protective mother, is growing increasingly anxious about Harrison's recent nightmares and his quiet, withdrawn behavior. She confides in Chance, her voice trembling. "He asked me if the bad lady was coming back, Chance. He heard me talking to Kyle about Jordan. He's terrified, and I don't know how to make it better." Chance, the former GCPD detective, shifts instantly into protector mode. He holds her, his own jaw set with a grim determination. "We are not going to let anything happen to him, Summer. I promise you that. We will get the best child therapist in the state. We will install a new security system, whatever it takes." But his professional instincts are also kicking in. He knows that Sharon has been digging, and he knows that stirring up the past can have dangerous repercussions in the present. His promise to Summer to protect their family unit is about to collide with his duty to warn Sharon that her investigation is a ticking time bomb, placing him directly in the path of the looming conflict. A final, ominous glimpse. The episode closes on two contrasting scenes that set the stage for Friday's explosion. At the Newman Ranch, Victor stands alone by the fireplace after everyone has left. He picks up his phone and dials a private number. "He's here," Victor says into the receiver, his voice low and gravelly. "Keep a close watch. I want to know his every move." He is not talking about Noah. The chessboard is set, and Victor is moving his pieces into position for a war on multiple fronts. Simultaneously, in a dimly lit, nondescript hotel room on the outskirts of Genoa City, a man, Arthur Carl Smith, closes his laptop. On the screen is a live feed of crimson lights. He methodically packs a small, sleek case, not with clothes, but with specialized tools and a silenced pistol. He picks up a photograph of Sharon, taken just that day as she left the coffee house, a look of determined worry on her face. He traces her image with a gloved finger, a cold, professional smile playing on his lips. The threat is no longer digital. It is now tangible, armed, and moving through the shadows of the city with a single, sinister purpose. Thursday, November 6th, is a day of revelations and dire warnings in Genoa City. As Noah finds his voice and rejects his dynasty, Sharon loses her safety, proving that some secrets are guarded by forces far more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers update for Tuesday, November 4th, reveals that Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, will spark some panic while Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, hides Audra Charles's Zuleika Silver, LA arrival. For starters, Claire's ability to make good decisions will be called into question. Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, will grow deeply troubled over Claire's link to Holden and the risky moves she's making in Los Angeles. Claire ran away from all her Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller problems and has been having a blast with Holden, but she's still suffering from a torn heart deep down. Nikki may fear that Claire will take things too far with Holden and find herself unable to get back on track with Kyle. Claire already enjoyed a bedroom romp with Holden, so Nikki may put the puzzle pieces together on that. Whether Nikki voices her concerns to Claire, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, or both, she'll indeed fret over her granddaughter. While Claire's actions spark some panic for Nikki, great news is ahead for Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case. Sharon and Nick will take a timeout on tackling the latest Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, mystery since Noah Newman Lucas Adams is about to awaken. Lucas Adams will finally make his first appearance in the role, so it'll be interesting to see his spin on Noah as he settles in. Noah will still have his bandages on at first, but those will be removed before long. YNR spoilers say Noah will be disoriented when he emerges from his coma, but Nick, Sharon, and his doctors will be there to help him make sense of his current situation. Next, Audra will arrive in Los Angeles and cross paths with Holden, but he'll apparently keep quiet about her showing up in town. Of course, Holden will continue to keep Audra's past secrets quiet as well. That'll be partly about protecting Audra, and partly about protecting himself, since Holden helped clean up her mess years ago. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra will eventually stir up some trouble at the Shadow Room, so stay tuned for updates on all the twists and turns. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers for the next 3 weeks, November 3rd to November 21st, reveal that fans will see Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall's Roger Howarth twisted behavior. Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will also end up in danger before some wedding day drama threatens to erupt. The week of November 3rd to 7th will bring Matt's attempt to convince Sharon that he's really Mitch and not her old foe. Sharon won't believe that at all, and will get Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, on her side when it comes to buying that Matt has really returned. Nick will ultimately back Matt into a corner, so he'll also know instantly this is the same man who caused so much pain in the past. Although Matt has been living a new life as Mitch for many years, he won't be able to outrun his mistakes and crimes. Nick's going to put Matt on full blast in a major showdown soon enough. We should also talk about Lucas Adams' debut as a Noah Newman recast, since Noah will emerge from his. Sharon and Nick will quiz Noah, so they'll try to piece together what happened to him and how he got entangled in Matt's web. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, will also get updates on some of the Noah details and try to make sense of the car crash he landed in. As for Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, she'll try to bury anything that might be incriminating. Sienna may not feel like she's getting the full story from Mitch aka Matt, but she'll do her part to keep them both out of trouble with the cops. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, will also head to Los Angeles and shake things up, but Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, may not be happy about that or the fact that he'll have to keep more secrets for her. As for Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, a big fight is brewing. Kyle will push for answers about what happened between Claire and Holden in LA, so he may lash out if she admits they sizzled in her hotel room. During the week of November 10th to 14th, Kyle will no doubt become even more determined to prove to Claire that Holden is bad news. We'll see Kyle work harder to uncover whatever criminal activity Holden and Audra buried. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will also heat up his rivalry with the Abbotts thanks to the bold moves he's set to make. That AI program is the real deal and could wreak havoc, so Victor will hold great power. The week of November 17th to 21st will also bring some of Matt's twisted behavior, so Nick will have good reasons to believe danger is ahead for Sharon. You can bet Nick will be extra vigilant about protecting Sharon, but it may be hard to predict Matt's upcoming moves. Next, things could get more complicated between Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, and Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Although Kane suspects Phyllis betrayed him, he can't deny that he finds her fascinating. Phyllis is also drawn to Kane's edgy side, so sparks could fly eventually. Of course, it's possible Kane will use their connection to manipulate Phyllis, so that's worth keeping in mind. Regardless, Phyllis is supposed to get a surprising new love interest soon according to YNR spoilers. Kane still feels like the most likely option considering all their banter and innuendo lately. Since Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, and Danny Romalotti's Michael Damian wedding will begin on November 21st, there could be some drama on the big day. Phyllis has tried to make peace with Danny's impending marriage, but she may not be able to resist stirring the pot a bit more. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Danny and Christine may have some last-minute surprises ahead of their nuptials, so don't miss all the excitement. The Young and the Restless, YNR, recap for Tuesday, November 4th, reveals that Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, will struggle with some memory issues while Claire Newman, Haley Aaron meets Mitch Bacall aka Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, and gets bad vibes. At their hotel, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, will stop by Sharon Newman's Sharon Case room with a scone, so they'll discuss how they didn't get much sleep due to Matt's return and their concerns about Noah. Sharon will plan on heading back to the hospital, but Nick will want to join her there a bit later. In the meantime, Nick will hope to ambush Matt at the shadow room and try to get some answers. At the hotel cafe, Claire will have sunglasses on due to her hangover as she eats breakfast with Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott. Nikki will seem a little uncomfortable over Claire's drinking before talk turns to Claire's decision to head home to Genoa City. Once Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, overhears that info, he'll speak with Claire privately. Claire will assure Holden that she enjoyed their time together, including what happened between them last night, but she'll be ready to go home and figure out what normal looks like. Holden will wonder where he fits in Claire's life now, but she won't be able to give him a firm answer on that yet. Since Claire's flight will be in a few hours, she'll have 2 requests before she goes. Claire will want to see the mountains one more time, and stop by the shadow room so she can thank Sienna Bacall to Marabron for her hospitality. Holden will realize this is really about digging for the truth about his past with Audra, but he'll agree to take Claire there anyway. After Holden and Claire snap some pics with the mountain backdrop, they'll indeed head to the nightclub. Before they go inside, Holden will manage to talk Claire out of pumping Sienna for information related to his history with Audra. As for Mitch, he'll find Sienna at the shadow room and once again deny that he's this Matt person. Mitch will act like Nick must just be an upset father who's desperate for answers and making things up. Mitch will also admit he missed Sienna last night since she didn't come home, but she'll make excuses. Claire and Holden will later approach Sienna alone, so that'll give Claire a chance to say goodbye and extend her gratitude. Mitch will eventually pop up and meet Claire, so he'll suggest that Sienna told him that she was Noah's cousin. After Mitch talks about meeting Noah in London and offering to invest in his new LA club, there'll be some talk about the accident. Sienna will mention the speculation that it may not have been an accident at all, so Mitch won't be pleased over her highlighting that to Claire. As for Audra Charles Zuleika Silver, Holden will insist she's ancient history, but he'll acknowledge that he still runs into her since they both live in Genoa City now. Sienna will assume Claire wants Audra dirt like Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer did, but she'll turn Sienna down. Once Claire and Holden head outside, she'll talk about the tension she felt when Mitch walked in the room. Claire will discuss Mitch's unsettling vibe and seem a little weirded out. Claire will also reflect on all the secrets and lies that other people have told her. If Holden wants to have a real friendship, Claire will need him to be honest about what happened with Audra. Nick will pop up at one point and claim that he needs to see Mitch about Noah's crash, so Holden and Claire will confirm he's inside. Claire will wonder if she's missing something since Sharon was at the shadow room last night too, but Nick will downplay any drama. Back inside, Mitch will insist Sienna shouldn't have told Claire that it wasn't an accident, but she'll argue that Claire knew already. Since Sienna will seem so on edge over the Noah situation, Mitch will wonder why, since it's not like she really even knew Noah. Based on Sienna's expression, it'll be obvious that she's holding back. At the hospital, Sharon will read to Noah until he moves his hand multiple times. Noah will finally wake up enough to call Sharon Mom, so she'll be over the moon about him coming out of his coma. The doctor will offer some positive medical updates and confirm that Noah's on the right track. Sharon will give Nikki and Victoria the good news once they arrive, so they'll also sit down with Noah. Although Noah will remember his loved ones and who he is, he'll draw a blank when it comes to the crash. Since Noah won't recall what happened to him, he'll push Victoria and Nikki to explain how he ended up there. Meanwhile, Sharon will finally get in touch with Nick and summon him to the hospital right away now that Noah's awake. The Young and the Restless spoilers say there's much more drama to come for Nick and Sharon, so stay tuned.